Most people want to be interesting. Well, they may not tell you as direct as, I want to be an interesting person, but probably more like this. I want to give a great impression. I want to be more charismatic. I want to be attractive. I want to stand out. Let's be honest. I know for a fact that most of us would have these thoughts or similar thoughts once or twice in our life. However, in a noisy world like ours, where personal branding is a professional necessity and a high level of competition wherever we go, whether it be jobs, promotions, or schools, not to mention admiration and affection, it's easy for our voice to get drowned out and our opinions to be dismissed. However, being an interesting person might just give you a chance of standing out, being noticed and listened to. This on top of the various benefits that being an interesting person carries, for instance, networking, friendships, jobs, or even love interests can be less difficult to get. But this does not mean that you need to become a completely different person. All you need to do is to figure out the best way to showcase yourself. That's why in today's video, we'll share with you 15 ways to be a more interesting person. Welcome to Thrivetastic. If you're new here, why not hit that subscribe button and join our community? And as always guys, give this video a thumbs up for that YouTube algorithm. 1. Find a passion. It's not a coincidence that we started this list with a talk about passion. It's merely a reminder that practically everything you need to make your life more interesting is already within you. Most of us have a strong interest in something. It may be saving the earth, music, being a vegetarian, a social issue like bullying, or even a movie character. Elon Musk, for example, is incredibly passionate about traveling to space. You can't deny how interesting he gets when he talks about it. The trick is to learn something you're passionate about and talk about it with your friends whenever you can. People always enjoy seeing people who care profoundly about something. And when these people talk about their passion, it's nearly impossible not to listen. 2. Know interesting things. Are you familiar with Sheldon Cooper from The Big Bang Theory? In every conversation, this smart and socially awkward man had an interesting fact to share. Even when his friends became tired of him, there were occasions when they found him interesting. Knowing interesting subjects will make you a natural conversationalist. This is because your brain has been nourished by movies, novels, comics, podcasts, blogs, and museums, allowing you to explore random conversations from unique perspectives. The more you learn and gain knowledge, the more intriguing you are to speak with. 3. Embrace your weirdness. Being weird would not have been considered cool a few years ago. In fact, children are still bullied in schools for being odd or simply different. Unfortunately, the majority of these children will grow up to be people who will do anything to fit in, even if it involves changing their entire personality. Even among our circle of friends, we often hesitate to say or act a certain way because we fear it will come off as weird. So we keep our weirdness to ourselves and pretend to be someone else. Yet being odd works in a whole other way. Did you know that being unique, weird, or special makes you more memorable? People are far more likely to remember that strange guy who danced horribly but confidently, or that weird girl who mix and match unorthodox outfits to create her own style. Rather than pushing your weirdness away so you may feel like part of the group, accept your quirkiness and be unique. Allow yourself to be the genuine you, and people will naturally gravitate toward you. It should go without saying that you should not judge others for being weird or different. Allow them to be their most comfortable selves as well. 4. Listen to people. We started by talking about how noisy our world is and how this noise can drown out people's voice. So it should come as no surprise that people want someone to listen to them. Dale Carnegie says in his book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, to be interesting, be interested. People enjoy being heard. It tells them that they are important and that someone in the world recognizes that. You don't always need to have an answer to their questions. All you have to do is listen to what they have to say. If you do this, you will see that they will gradually pay greater attention to you. We sometimes believe that being a great conversationalist entails being a good talker, but it also entails being a good listener. 5. Learn how to tell stories. It's one thing to have interesting stories. Knowing how to tell those stories may be far more crucial. Have you ever had to listen to someone talk about an interesting topic but couldn't follow along because it was simply too boring? That's how terrible storytelling can ruin a good story. Being a good storyteller is knowing how to start the story, establish the characters involved, keep the listeners interested, remove the uninteresting stuff, and most importantly, make a boring story sound interesting. Learn to share your amazing stories in interesting ways, and watch your friends' faces light up as you start talking. 6. Don't keep your thoughts to yourself. Nobody would find you interesting if you never express your thoughts, opinions, or feelings about something. Your opinions matter, and no matter how wildly opposed you believe they are, you should always express them. Your friends do not always have to agree with you. They only have to accept your opinion, and not to insult you because of it. There will also be times when you know next to nothing about the topic of the conversation, and it's perfectly fine to remain silent during these discussions, or simply say, "Hey, I'm not sure what we're talking about. Tell me more." However, if it's a topic that interests you and you have an interesting opinion, express it. Speaking of opinion, how about sharing with us your thoughts on today's topic? As we always say, your opinions always matter. Thank you as always, guys. 7. Pick up new hobbies. Do you believe yourself to be incredibly boring? Then taking up new hobbies could be just what you need. Having new interests not only provides you with more enjoyable things to do, but it also gives you more fun things to talk about. And don't forget, everyone enjoys hearing fun stories. How do you find new interests? You may start by making a list of all the different things you'd like to do, then taking active steps to get better at them. 8. Be mysterious. Aside from accepting your weirdness, staying a little mysterious is one way to become unique and interesting. We are naturally drawn to things or persons that we do not fully comprehend. It's the same reason we can't seem to get enough of talking about aliens. So, how can you become the mysterious figure everyone is talking about? To begin with, don't tell somebody your entire life story. Of course, you could reveal bits and pieces of your life in separate conversations, keeping out key aspects of your life simply to elicit questions. You are also not required to correct their guesses. You can tell them they're wrong, but don't give them the right answers. These burning questions will pique their interest, and I'm sure you'd enjoy the attention that comes with it. 9. Be confident. Being confident is the best trick for becoming interesting. When you walk into a room and exude confidence, people want to be associated with you. Your insecurities could be the source of your lack of confidence. It could be the reason why you always keep quiet with your friends and avoid participating in group discussions. You can focus on increasing your confidence and transform yourself from an uninteresting person to that cool cat everyone wants to befriend. 10. Understand who you are. To become an interesting person, you must first understand your personality type. Are you an introvert who prefers to be with extroverts? Or do you prefer to be with individuals that are similar to you? Making the proper friends will assist you in making the correct decisions and will also influence how others perceive you. 11. Avoid controversial subjects. This does not mean that you should never talk about them. What we're saying is that it's critical to read the room and know your audience when attempting to be interesting to others. Avoiding contentious or difficult matters can help you more, because as you know, some individuals are quickly offended when certain topics are brought up. Furthermore, while it's crucial to express your thoughts on a topic of interest, it's equally as important that you know when to chip in and when to stay quiet. You may unintentionally offend someone, which will just make you less interesting depending on how that person reacts to you. Stick with your hobbies and passions when talking. And if the conversation ultimately turns to a more difficult subject, make sure you voice your thoughts respectfully and ask others to do the same. 12. Ask questions. Knowing how to ask the proper questions is an important component of being a great conversationalist. To start, the right questions do not have to probe into personal life. You could also inquire about how a particular event affected them or how they cope with their busy lives. Also, follow up on the responses to these questions with even more thoughtful questions, and at the end of the day, you'll most likely be the most interesting person they've encountered. But most importantly, don't be afraid to ask simple questions. If you don't understand something someone says, simply ask them to clarify. It wouldn't make you look stupid. On the other hand, it will demonstrate that you are genuinely interested in what this person has to say. 13. Develop a sense of humor. Would you rather hang around with someone who only sees the negative side of life or someone who sees the positive side? You should choose the latter. We all enjoy being with funny people. They understand how to make the best of any situation. Their happiness is contagious, and there aren't unhappy moments with them. Wouldn't you like to be like this as well? Being witty is a plus when trying to impress a date because studies suggest that funny people appear more appealing. 14. Develop genuine feelings. Surface-level conversation with friends can be tiresome. At some point, it almost feels like small talk. Learn more about your friends and engage them in more intimate conversations. This implies you'll have to provide some personal information about yourself, which is just okay. When you recognize your friends for who they truly are and vice versa, it becomes simpler to have deeper and more meaningful conversations, making you more interesting to one another. We are now at the end of our list, but before that, how about sharing with us your own opinion of what an interesting person is? What do you consider an interesting person? Please share with us your thoughts in the comment section down below. 15. Be genuine. You may fall into the trap of trying to be someone else to become more interesting. You must understand that originality is essential and must be remembered at all times if you wish to become more interesting. If your friends discover that all they know about you is a lie, they may no longer want to be friends with you. Stick to your true self and utilize the tips in this video to stand out from the crowd if you want people to like you. You don't have to change your entire style, demeanor, or even lifestyle for others to like you. Your true self is more than enough. Thank you for watching this Thrivetastic video. So if you found it valuable, consider subscribing to our channel and joining our awesome community. And if you're still hungry for more, we handpicked this awesome Thrivetastic video for you to watch next.